Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, folks, we're going to get into some interesting charts today on this Wednesday, September 25th, 2013. We're going to first focus in on the SPY, which is trading slightly lower on a very choppy day. The only thing I want to point out here, folks, is a downsloping trend line that is epic in its nature. If you take this low going back to Monday, connect it to Tuesday's low, look at the lows we now have on Wednesday. All right, two pivot lows today, each one going down to this trend line. So this trend line, without a doubt, has become the major level to watch on the downside of this market. It seems like every time we come down there, as it continues to slope lower, that's where you find yourself bouncing. So essentially, again, right here and right here matching up to these lows. Fascinating little trend line right there. Okay, so again, just in the afternoon session, as you can see, the market remains weak after the big push last Wednesday. It's been 1 week since we had the Federal Reserve come out and give their statement and not cut QE at all, not taper at all. And again, since that 1 day afternoon pop, the markets have essentially been declining. Now, today to me is more of a flattish day, but it's just interesting to watch this trend line play out. Every time it comes down there, the markets seem to bounce. Now, let's go to another chart that's in action today, JCPenney. JCPenney's getting slammed. In the intraday stock chat today, we nailed the exact low of the day. I bought in at $9.95. Happened to be a $10 even number Pierce, which, as we know, for those of us that follow the methodology, we know that's a major level. In addition, it was a time count oversold chart, and sure enough, we got a beautiful bounce up. Now, ultimately, as a swing trade, I think this stock is going to probably go lower. So I want to just go to the monthly chart and show you where this is heading. So if we go to the monthly chart and we zoom out here, if you go all the way back to 2000, late 2000, you have a pivot low around $8.50 to $9. Okay, so it's really only $1.50 lower than this range right now, which essentially, if we drop to the same amount as we are today, tomorrow or the next day, or a combination of the two, you'd be right into this level. This is the level where, for me, I will step up as a swing trading opportunity. It's a very clear, crisp level, makes total sense. Again, just drag that trend line over. It is the 13 years ago, actually more than, about 13 years ago. This is the low pivot on JCPenney, so it should be a nice little level. Another chart I want to look at is JP Morgan Chase. So if we go to JPM's daily chart, you have a classic head and shoulder pattern. I wrote an article on this today, and I want to go over it again in this video. So here's your neckline. Just draw a straight line across. So essentially, you need a close below this blue line, not an intraday pierce. Intraday pierce doesn't mean anything when you're dealing with a daily move. Remember, you have to be time specific. So right here's your neckline. Here's your shoulder, your left shoulder. Here's your head. Okay, and here's your right shoulder. Beautiful head and shoulders. This is a classic head and shoulder pattern. And again, when you close below this blue line, this head and shoulders will be triggered at that point. And the crazy thing about it is that, I always talk to you guys about the market kind of follows JPM for the most part. So if this head and shoulders plays out, we're talking about as much as a 7-point drop from this break point here on JPM, which puts it down to about the 43 level right down in this range. Pretty tremendous in my opinion. All right, and again, look at the size of that drop. So what's crazy about this is if the market follows JPM, you have to figure the markets have a decent decline when this breaks down. Now, right now, today, JPM's having a great bounce, as you can see. All right, so it didn't break, and therefore it's not triggered. So you wouldn't even care about this until it breaks that trend line. But once it closes below that trend line, that's when it's game on. All right, make sure you understand how to play that. Okay, very, very important to understand that. Okay, so that's what we're watching here on JP Morgan. A couple other stocks I'm keeping an eye on, Facebook being one of them. Facebook's up about 68 cents here, but it still has this topping tail from yesterday, extended chart. What I love about today's action and yesterday's action is that you got analyst upgrades, and this is the last stock I'm going to talk on today. But yesterday we had Citigroup upgrading Facebook. Today about three or four big houses upgraded Facebook. And notice how the stock actually was pushed up yesterday and reversed, and today it's not taking out yesterday's high, even on these upgrades. And it's very reminiscent to me of what we saw with Apple. So if you go to Apple's chart here and we go back to last year, when it was at $700 in around the September-October period, that's when you were getting analyst upgrades. So not necessarily drawing the perfect parallel between the two stocks, as I think Apple was even a little bit more extended than Facebook, but they're both extremely extended. They're both getting analyst upgrades when the stocks are up hundreds plus percentage points. And you have to say to yourself, these analysts are no better than the bagel man at calling stocks, as we see, especially with Apple. So does that tell us that Facebook itself could be in the process of putting in a top here? Now, it could go a little bit higher. I think a 50 even number appears is very logical just based on the 50 even number. But for me, personally, I think this is the beginning of the end of the short-term mega move up on Facebook. It's up 100% off this area down here. It's nearing the 50 even number. To me, with the analyst upgrades and looking at it as a contrarian play, just like Apple, you have to be starting to look to take money off and start to look to buy puts or even go short the stock. All right. On that note, folks, I'm going to step aside. Come join us at inthemoneystocks.com. Take the 7-day free trial. We welcome you here to make profits and understand how to profit in any market, up or down. Take care.